The spread of video technology is actually helping police in the investigation of the Boston bombing. Welcome to Digits. I'm Simon Constable, and the Wall Street Journal's Joel Schectman's here to tell us more about this. Joel, thanks for being here. It's been a long time.
Nice to see you again.
So, we know that video technology has been very important in this investigation. Let's start with the obvious thing, the stuff in the department store.
Right. I mean, over the last 10 years, pretty much every store and bank has gotten internal surveillance cameras. Oftentimes they're facing out to the street, and in this case, it seems to be helping police to narrow down or to identify a suspect.
Okay, no, it's not. We've got that. So that was Lord and Taylor. That was the security footage there. But there's also a lot of footage coming from people from things like this, smartphones, which that's being used as well. How are the police getting that? Yeah,
I think that's kind of the real change. As opposed to it just being surveillance cameras. I mean, everybody is a surveillance camera now, and even if there's no event going on, people are constantly snapping. But at an event like the Boston Marathon, you have such a huge matrix of photos and videos that you can, that can possibly be fed to law enforcement. The FBI has asked individuals to send the video and photos that they have, which they're analyzing in Quantico.
Okay, that Quantico in Virginia.
Yeah.
So the people are sending that in. That is, of course, just an entirely labor-intensive business.
Yeah, it's
right?
a deluge.
They have to go through it.
Yeah.
Frame by frame by frame. Now, can that be fed through facial recognition technology? Does that work?
Yeah, my understanding is that's actually what they're doing. Is they're using that to try to weed through it or to try to find and identify people and patterns. The problem is you can use it to try to make a match with a database of photos that you have of criminals or of other suspects.
Mugshots, like or
right.
passport photographs.
Or passport photos. You can do that, and sometimes it works. But my understanding from talking to several former intelligence analysts is that it doesn't work that well. It's a useful tool to kind of weed through the pile, but the problem is, for it to really work well, you need a full frontal photo of somebody that you'd have in a mugshot, and you just don't generally get that from either spectator photos or surveillance footage.
Now, the other thing that seems to have been very lucky here is that most of this footage was taken during the day, right? In bright sunlight. Would it have been much harder if this was happening at night?
I think as far as using video and photo as an aid, it would have made it infinitely more difficult. I don't think the facial recognition tools would have worked well at all, for example, but I think that in general, even just police and FBI scouring through images taken at night would have been, it would have been very difficult.
Very difficult indeed. Well, let's hope that they get some leads off this. Joel Schectman of the Wall Street Journal coming back to Digits. We appreciate your time, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, and that's it. That's Digits for now.